It's been a long time since Wu-Tang has been found. It's been a long time. Peace. What's up, everybody? What's cooking? If you were waiting for a reading from me, just be patient. I just got off the road a day or so ago. Nigga, I was in New York. That shit took a whole lot of energy out of me. I will be back in the, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man. This message today is for the young men, right? This is some game that the older men didn't give to us. And this conversation goes along with statistics. So if you know your little young nigga 25 or whatever, when I'm finished with this, you send this to him to get him some variables, right? So that they can, traverse through this equation. So the reality is there are more women than there are men. Period. It's more women than there are men. Right? Another statistic, this is a reality, that ever since black people came to this country, black women have made more money than niggas have. Just period. That's just what it is. Right? So we can examine what they call Reconstruction. During Reconstruction, the men were kicked off the plantations. I can't feed you, motherfucking. I can't feed you, Toby. And so the women went from being slaves to immediately becoming domestic workers. They get paid now. They got to pay them. So the men are competing with the other men who don't have the task because they ain't been doing that shit. So now they learn the shit from a couple of slaves, and then they make a little, what they call a union or a guild, right, to keep niggas out so you can't get no money. So traditionally, or historically, I should say, black men have gotten money due to vice in this country, albeit bootlegging. We taught the white boy how to distill all that shit, and he got them driving race cars and all that. Marijuana, we got to get it from the Mexicans, or then by way of the Jamaicans. Then you got gambling, right? Gambling and prostitution. Now, again, these things, the gambling men have, but the women are in charge of the prostitution. Don't get that shit twisted, right? And we have plenty of examples to show. So like we talk about, like, what's the guy? My guy, Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor grew up in a brothel. His grandmother ran the brothel. Not his daddy, not his grandfather. His grandmother ran the brothel. So for these young men, there's a saying that the old niggas say. They say niggas who chase pussy ain't never got money, and niggas who chase money always got pussy. For the young men out here, all you gotta realize is that you are the prize. There's no reason to argue with them on these podcasts. No, reality will kick in. So my advice to y'all niggas is stop fucking with these broads that got kids. Let them figure that shit out themselves. Let them deal with those decisions that they made, right? Albeit if he was a good nigga or a bad nigga. The reality is she made a bad decision, right? And so sometimes it's a good nigga that she just making it hard for him. He can't see his kids or not. But what will happen to you is if you raise them kids, she will definitely have ownership and possession of them, and she will take them kids away from you. So you meet a chick, she got a daughter or son, and niggas too, and you've been raising this little nigga, and then you and her have an issue, she gonna be like, nah, don't talk to my son. Oh, so now that's time wasted, right? That's devaluing you. You wasting your time. Don't waste your time. Go and focus on you. Go get you. If you got to go to school, if you got to go get a trade, or you got a business idea, do not waste your time popping bottles. Do not waste your time taking these broads on fucking dates, right? So my cousin sent me something this morning, and it was this woman, and she was like, for y'all niggas out there, before you go on that date, squeeze one out. Squeeze one out to see whether or not you really that feverish, right? Because after you done busted nut, you come back to your senses. All the blood from the from below comes back up, and now you can think, right? And now, you know, them titties is like, all right, now you're examining them. Like, wait a minute, them titties got some sweat under them. You know what I mean? All of that. Because, you know, the majority of these niggas will fuck a snake if they could get it to sit still. So, all of that in place. Stop chasing them. The majority of them will live with cats. This is the truth. The majority of them will live with cats, and when they get to that point when niggas ain't coming to play with them no more, they become, all of a sudden, they get jolly. Now they nice. Oh, hey. And really, it be them old women just lusting over young men. Every time them old women be like, oh, let me give you a hug. Like, stop hugging these old fat bitches. Stop doing it. That's how they get off. Oh, is that such and such? They will put your face in the titties and all that. They just getting off. No more of that. Now, if you are by yourself, if your husband didn't die, man, kick rocks, Goldilocks. You ain't got no business talking to me. Right? So, because they're going to change the narrative. So before it was, oh, men are dogs. They go after young women. Now these old cougars is out here hunting in packs. Right? Nah, son. You better understand that you are the commodity. I'm not saying nothing to you, but you got nothing to say. You know why? Because technology. See, because technology is what make all of this feminism what it is. Right? They don't need, because the world was run by brawn. But if I'm wrong, you could go to any one of them countries, right? And when them dropping bombs, there is no outspoken women. I promise you that. Ain't no outspoken women. When them motherfuckers, Arabs is over there in that country, they dropping them bombs, them women like, oh, they crying like a motherfucker. They ain't tough. They ain't got no opinion. Except, please stop the war. Right? But Americans, number one, have never, the only bit of war you ever seen was maybe 9/11 in your lifetime. You ain't seen no war. You don't know what that shit look like. So, they over here, they living, they going what they doing. Right. So, on the other hand, technology says that there's a Pornhub, there's all of the other shit. I can whack one out, and then I can come back to my senses. Exactly. You see that? Right there. Like L said. They want to show they cooch at the job. Man, keep that old, and with your wrinkled pussy, I can't be your lover. And this has been going on forever. Ricky D told you this. He was fucking a girl, and the mother tried to give him some pussy. You see? So, I'm not talking crazy. I'm just telling the young men, go get the bag. Forget them. They'll always be there. They're always growing. They're like bacteria. There's a bunch of them. I promise you that. There is more of them than there is of us. So, they like, oh, we're going to have a pussy strike after, because y'all let that nigga become the president. Okay, do that then. Because the reality is that they lie. They like sex maybe more than us. Maybe more than us. You know, that little second, a couple seconds that you get, they get like all night of that shit. They are addicted to that shit. So I promise you, if you be like, you know what? I'm cool, shorty. I'm going to go home. She's going to be broken because she's not used to being turned down. I promise you. So, like I said, you give this message to the young niggas, 25 and under. Look, stop chasing them broads. Because I, as a man, a grown man, have looked back and looked at my elders, and them niggas is all pussy hounds. All the men, they all pussy hounds. They can't help themselves, right? They be talking, oh, as soon as a woman come in with a fat ass, them niggas be like, oh, they're like they ain't never seen this shit before. Nah, you gotta have some cool. See, that was what the whole aesthetic of cool was about, right? So they what's that colors? He said, oh shit, look at all them heifers. Let's go down there and fuck one. He said, let's run down there and fuck one. And the old bull said, no, let's walk down and fuck them all. That's cool. That is being able to maintain yourself in a situation that is desirable or overwhelming. That you be like, nah, I'm cool, right? Good morning. And so I want y'all to start to teach the young niggas to not be pussy hounds. I don't want them to be, laying up with each other, but let's not be pussy hounds. Let's put this shit into perspective. You feel me? Let's put it in perspective so that we are not misinformed or misguided, right? Because I'll be watching these little podcasts with these girls and they be arguing with these men, and we have to examine the all of the variables of this situation, right? And we got to look at it like, hold up. You've created this stereotype of black men that black men ain't shit. That I saw another thing where the dude was talking about the fact that in the black community it is egregious for us to necessarily hold our mothers accountable for our raising, our rearing, right? We don't hold them accountable. We uplift them. This is why when I hear some black woman, I was arguing with somebody, she talking about black men, y'all are so misogynist. Like, how is that possible when every nigga that ever made it, the first thing he say outside of God is thank my mama? What are you talking about? That a lot of us don't even act like men with the women that we have because we was raised by our mamas and she put that bullshit in our head about, oh, and you gotta respect her and all that. But the reality is you be a nice guy and your chick will be getting her head put through a headboard and kicked with a Timberland on the back of her neck, and she will love it. She'll love it. You be like, you be trying to give her everything. You try to make sure everything is right. Yo, baby, you all right? You good? Yeah, why you keep asking me that? Oh, okay, that's because somebody else is digging her out. Digging her out. And you trying to be nice. No, that's not their nature. Their nature is of power. So let's talk about power.